Hi guys, welcome back to Darish Zone, and this is a special video, very special video, because it's about a Disney custom collection which is included into the retro machine image which I was working on the PI for 4 gigabyte. So this is a very important collection because it's based on a nice suggestion you suggested to me on the Discord challenge, because you said, "Hey Darish Zone DZ, why don't you made a 25 best games of your life on this collection, only 25 games?" And I thought about it, and I think it's a very nice challenge to select 25 games of my life. So I thought about it, and I think it's impossible to pick 25 games. In the meantime, I show the games fast. So it's impossible to pick 25 games, because on 40 years of video game history, it's too difficult. 40 years of gaming, so it's impossible to pick the best 25 games. So I thought about it, and I've decided to go for 25 games which I am very attached, emotionally attached, and that very change things to me. So not necessarily we talk about masterpiece, milestone games, but games that mean something to me. So I hope you appreciate this selection, and just start from the first, because I want to talk about each game, and I want to show every game if I am able to. I don't know if I have enough time. We will see if I can fit the window, the time window. But let's start without further review. The first game is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for the television, because yes, I know many of you that have the television at the time love this game because it was on the best releases for the console. But this is a very great game to me because it's the first game I bought on this console, and I love this game so much. Just go into the game immediately. As you can see, there's the bezel, the overlays already set, because it's very difficult to play this game without the keyboard, the number keyboard. You have to know the commands which you manage with the shoulder button. So in that case, you have to select the game difficult. So I press 3 and I play with the easiest difficult, the mountains. Okay, basically you move on the map. It's game in two parts, basically. The first part is the map, and when you enter into the mountain, you have the second part, which is the dungeon. So if you remember this game, you have to use the key number to strike the arrows. Okay. And I remember this game. In this game, oh dang! You can evaluate the health level from the hero color. I am blue now, so it means I am wounded. Should be a bet. One of the best things of this game is that you recognize enemies by the sounds they made. This is the Medusa blob thing, and you cannot kill Oh dang! This is the red. Oh dang! The mouse, the red. Okay, the mouse just not the. Oh, okay, no. I'm mistaken. I remember what creator is. The spider like things just throw your arrows. I'm without arrows basically, and you can evaluate the available arrow with a sound. Okay, I think I'm screwed. I'm about to die. Eccolo qui. Let's try to okay. Now it's so brilliant. You can count the number of arrows by the sounds. I think it is a dozen, more or less, a dozen of arrows. And this is the only weapon you can use in this game. So you better stick with a solid number of arrows. Oops. Another thing, you can kill yourself with the arrows. Okay. And this is a lovely game. It's very hard to play with the controller, to be honest, because it very needs the original controller of Intellivision. Move on. The Archon is the game, the Commodore 64, the first game, not the first game that I bought on Commodore 64, to be honest, but the first multiplayer game that I have. I remember play this game with my friends with 2 joysticks, and I just remember some wild rage quit. It's not easy to rage quit when you play with a true friend, not online, but I talk about local multiplayer, you know. So I just start the fights with my friend because they lost or I lost, and I just remember that game. If you lost in this game, you just going mad. And this game is what is this game is a nice fusion between a chess game and I don't remember. Okay, no. Okay, this game is a hybrid between a chess game and a strategic game and an action game. Cranky. Okay, you have the light army and the dark army. Each off is very different. The light army have these warriors, and the dark have different warriors, and every warriors have his powers, abilities, plus and cons. So you can play with a friend or versus computer. Okay, in that case the computer is light and I'm dark, but I prefer light, to be honest. And I want to play first. Okay, F7 to start. Okay, so basically I move the characters like a normal chess game, but you some realize it's very different. Okay, I love this game. Okay, this is for very old people, because if you have the Commodore 64, you sure. Oh dang, the elemental powers. This is a special enemies you can spawn. Okay, I won. You see, when the character enter combat on a special arena, and the stronger wins, basically. It's very good. I love this game. I repeat, the very first Commodore 64 game with the local multiplayer to me. And the third entry is still a Commodore 64 game, Bruce Lee. And this is Drums Rumble. And this is the very first game that I bought on the Commodore 64. It's so romantic. The first game for the, maybe not the best game for the Commodore 64, I know, but this is the first. Guys, it's the first, like the first love. You never forget the first love. Okay, I have to switch the joystick thing. Okay, not the best game ever, but it's the first game, guys. The first DZ game for the Commodore 64. I remember I bought the tape. Okay, it's basically a platform with some combat elements and some puzzle, because you have to read the levels and realize how to pass the levels, pick at all the lamps. Basically you have to pick all the lamps to finish the level. I have to say there's also a sequel of this game, which is hard as hell. Okay, 4 games, Castlevania for the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, because I remember at the time when I have the television, I remember there was also available the Nintendo, which have so killer price at the time, so I was not able to afford one. And I remember this game on the paper, gaming paper, or on shops. This game was very unforgettable, and at least today I can play this on emulation. Okay, it sounds incredible, but I was also scared by this game. That's incredible. I was scared by it because you know, a horror environment game based on Dracula, and it was scary. And also there's an enemy which is death, some monster, the mummy, giant bat. So scary. Okay, fantastic. A game that defined the Nintendo Entertainment System to me. Damocles for Amiga. This is the sequel of Mercenary, and this is how to say, it's not easy to pick a personal preferred game with the giant library of Amiga, but Damocles just represents something special to me. The very first game where I felt free, totally unconditionally free on a giant world. So this game to me is just the father of the open world, a game where you can apparently do everything you want. You can go where you want, even if in this game you have a very timed, you are limited time, because before a meteor just strike with the planet and kills everyone, you had to just find a way to avoid this giant meteor, and so you have limited time. But on this limited time you can do and go what you want. Okay guys, it's totally free. So this game is was my first definition of freedom on a game, and even if today is very old, even visually, graphically, it was stunning at the time on the full three-dimensional 3D environment. Okay. It's not easy to play on emulation because you very need a full keyboard for this game, because even to pick an item you need a keyboard. Just a sneak peek, because I love to explain the reason behind my picks. Doom, the first Doom, the game that defined the shooter, the 3D shooter to me, the first game that defined the 3D shooter with the huge graphics that just made me the ultimate Doom. Just made me envy the 486 computer, which was the first to have this beauty. And not by case, this is a full emulation of the computer version, which is the best probably. This game is just was released on every conceivable platform, you know. But this is the best version, so I decided to add not much to show. Everyone knows the first Doom. Okay, so we enter something interesting with the 7 entry, which is the, let me check, 25, okay. The FIFA Soccer 96. Okay, this is the very first game that make me to have a Mega Drive, because I remember this game was on Mega Drive first, even if a multi-platform game was also released on the Super Nintendo. But I remember this game on Mega Drive. I just want a Mega Drive. So hard want a Mega Drive for this game. Because this game, there's better soccer games around. I just agree with that. But the best thing of this game that I remember is the incredible detailed crowd. The crowd is the best that I remember on every soccer game ever released, because the crowd is so, every crowd member is so detailed. The game is not even that easy to play, to be honest. Okay, if I am able to show you at least the crowd, because it's hard as hell to. Oh dang! I want to show the crowd, but I'm not sure I will be able to. Look the crowd is incredible, fantastic, isometric. So the FIFA Soccer 96 Final Fight. Okay, the 8th entry is an arcade, because in this collection there's I think at least 4 Capcom games, and that just speak how Capcom means to me. 4 Capcom games are included in this collection, and the first is the Final Fight, which is the best version is the arcade with some tweaks. In that case, it have the soundtrack taken from the Sega CD version, because the MAME can play arcade with different soundtrack. So I very like the arcade version, which is the best, which is the original, but with the soundtrack from the Sega CD. So it's like to have a super enhanced Sega CD version with the graphic identical to the arcade, which is the arcade. Okay, and this is the beat 'em up, the scrolling beat 'em up. To me, this game just represents the scrolling beat 'em up, the king of scrolling beat 'em up. Okay, so nothing much to add. Okay, the 9 entry is The first Neo Geo games included in this collection is the Neo Turf Masters. I remember this game. I just empty my pockets with this arcade, but this is the Neo Geo home version, to be precise, not the arcade, which is of course identical, because the home version of Neo Geo is just identical to the arcade, but have some bonus options. It's all in Japanese. Okay, this is the best golf ever made to me. There's not competition, basically. This is the best golf. It's just perfect, and it's a joy to play even today. It's very arcadey, of course, but have so nice memories of game rooms, in summer game rooms with this game. I just spent hours and hours and just spent so much money. This sucks. Okay, just a fest. The 10 entry Drums Rumble is Pitfall 2. Hey, did see why you picked Pitfall 2. I was undecided to pick the Atari 2600 or the Commodore 64 version, but the Commodore 64 version is a little gem. But you can consider this game also for the many platforms where it was released, included the Atari. Okay, it's the sequel of Pitfall, and I love this. It's a platform game. Let me see if I can see if I'm able to start. Okay, it's so good with this relaxing music, and it's so different compared to the first Pitfall, which was so hard. This game is more relaxing compared to the first Pitfall, because okay, you can die, you have to avoid traps and enemies, but it's way more relaxed, because first of all you have those cross just works like checkpoints. So every time and the music is so sad, every time you die you just back to the checkpoint. And I love this game because even if at the beginning it's so similar to the first Pitfall, with the platform, horizontal platform action, soon you can go underground and a new vertical design just disclose to your pleasure the frog. I love this game, and I have to say it's not bad even today. Okay, and you go underground, just jump to the scorpion, and you can go down and search for the gold, but not only because you have to save your friend, which is the dog you can see at the beginning. Lovely. Okay, move on. Oh, okay, guys. I shaking a little because this is a very important game to me. It's the first survival horror of history, guys. A huge beast release for the Commodore 64. Maybe the most evolved game even released for the Commodore 64, 4 disc. And this is the version, the cartridge version, so there is not need to discuss what. And I want to show a little bit, if I'm able to, just the beginning. What's unforgettable, the beginning where you arrive to the ship, the abandoned ship, and this game is so similar on atmosphere, similar to Resident Evil and the survival horror games. Included the beginning is so atmospheric. There's not music, there's anything, just your character on a silent base where you are alone in the space. No one can hear you scream. Basically, remember this. Okay, you go to the second level of ship, everything fine until now, but then This scene awaits. So the horror begins, and you have to explore the ships, and very bad surprises will happen. So this is the king, the father of survival horror, and for natural consequences, even the first Resident Evil is included. The first Resident Evil, and this is the DualShock version, director cut. It has some bonus compared to the original release. Okay, I remember at the time I just bought this game on the USA release, and it was so expensive because there's not available yet the European version, so I have to pick the USA version. So there's some difference. Standard, training, and advanced is just like a remixed version.
Resident Evil.
The Resident Evil, which is called Biohazard in Japan, and this is Unforgettable Begin, and very similar to X-Files. When you select your agent, you can play with a male and with a female, because this game is very inspired from Alone in the Dark, with the double character, man and woman. This is the famous intro, the infamous intro, which was hit by censorship.
Wow.
And this is the beginning with the great lines, B-movie lines by the character.
Captain Wesker, where's
What a
Chris?
mansion.
Stop it. Don't open that door.
But Chris is...
Okay guys, it's Resident Evil, everyone knows it. And another entry, the 11th entry, is a Resident Evil Code Veronica. I was not sure at the beginning to include two Resident Evil games, because this is probably this is not the best Resident Evil ever. But this is a very important game to me, because this was my first game on the Dreamcast. So I just remember the Dreamcast with this game, and I was undecided because maybe Shenmue also deserve a place there, but I just decided to pick this game because this is, I repeat, was my very first game I bought on the Dreamcast, and I remember I proudly show to my friends this game.
Resident Evil.
And the beautiful graphics. It's so defined, the Dreamcast to me, the Sega Dreamcast. Okay, you can use the LiDAR to start. Okay, you know this game. Just runs so well on the PI4. Okay, the Ridge Racer 2 for the PSP. This is probably the most modern entry on this collection, but it just defined my love for the Ridge Racer series, the old Ridge Racer, not the new ones. The old Ridge Racer, and this release for the PSP is like a greatest hits, sort of a greatest hits of the best Ridge Racer. So it was a nice pick to choose, even if
Ridge Racer.
Get ready.
no, it's just good to have some PSP and Dreamcast game, because you know, they run so well on the PI4. So the games I picked are the games that define both the PSP and the Dreamcast to me.
Proceed with above choices. Proceed with above choices.
Okay,
course.
You see, there's tracks taken from the Ridge Racer 4 Ridge Racer.
Please select a machine commander. Sierra, get ready to race.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I think this is Night City Race from the Rave Racer.
3, 2, 1, go! 3 laps to go. Okay, let's go. This is crazy.
Okay, this is the time attack mode, so there's not cars.
Ready for nitro.
I just fight with the best time. There's not opponents. The music. Okay. Seems something. Something wrong with the emulator. I don't know what happened. The text disappeared. But okay, move on. The Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold for the PlayStation. I've decided to pick the PlayStation version because it have a fantastic remixed music. Otherwise, the best version should be the arcade, you know. But this is also a little improved version compared to arcade, to be honest, because the Alpha 2 Gold, which was released only on Japan, it has some bonus mode, but basically I just decided for that one, for the revised music. And Street Fighter Alpha is the graphically best Street Fighter to me. I just prefer this over the Street Fighter 3, for example. I just love the style, which was maybe inspired by the games based on Marvel. You see, the characters are more cartoony, more comic-like compared to the old Street Fighter. So I very like that thing. Okay, the music is reworked. And the Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Maybe it was a little redundant to add 2 Street Fighters, but that is, I'm obsessed with Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha. And I remember this game. I played this game until death on the game rooms. When I saw this game, I just to blow my mind. And this is I've decided to add the Champion Edition, which have the 4 bosses. I just still pick Ryu.
Round 1. Fight.
Just arcade, guys. Pain coming, seems. Attention, please. Attention, please. If Honda touch is the pain. Watch out. It's dangerous. Okay, Honda is so hard. If you get close to him, he will crush you. Okay. Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo. Another game I've decided to bring there. And this is the SNES-CD. Is not properly the cartridge release. This has the music all reworked, but just a minor detail. I just love this game because it was one of my first game on the Super Nintendo when I was able to afford one, and it's just unforgettable game, guys. The SNES-CD game, it just have the enhanced soundtrack, but the game is the same, of course. I think the music is taken from some CD, but I'm not sure. But this is a game just aged well, in my opinion, and it's nice to replay with this enhanced music. Okay. Okay, one of the best Castlevania to me, after the original Castlevania. Super Mario Bros. There's not much to say about this. It was my first game on the game room. I played that one so many times, and I was amazed by the NES version, which was identical to the game room. Super Turrican. And I'm not a big lover of Mario, to be honest, but I just cannot forget the very first game. The second game, to be honest, because the first game was Mario Bros. But I love that more. Okay, it is the same thing as the Super Castlevania. This is Super Turrican with the reworked music. And the music is from the original author of the music, which is Chris Wulzbeck, German mastermind that define this game with his incredible music.
Power up.
And this is the second best version of Turrican, probably, to me, or maybe the first. I'm not sure, because I very love how it's refined. Is this version of Turrican is more console friendly. The King of Fighters 96. This is the Neo Geo version with the reworked music. Okay, I have to do to say some things about this game. This is not the best King of Fighter game ever ever released, I have to say. Not by any means. But this is the best King of Fighters to me. It's very personal. Because I love the music, I love the graphic style. I just love the temper of this game. It's just define the entire SNK to me, and one of his best saga. But I just admit there's better King of Fighters around. That one was very bold on gameplay compared to the previous King of Fighters, which was in 95. The music is totally CD quality, and this is an official release because it's the Neo Geo CD version, not fan-made like Super Turrican CD and Super Castlevania. Fantastic! One of the best brawlers. Move on. Tomb Raider, the first Tomb Raider for the PSX. The second reason that make me bought a PSX, the first was Resident Evil. But after Resident Evil just came Lara with this incredible 3D adventure. Unforgettable. The first Tomb Raider, still the best after all these years. The sequel is also great. Tomb Raider 2 is great. The Tomb Raider 3 is a little less great, to be honest. But the Tomb Raider 2 is fantastic. But the first is still the first. I talk too much. I'm thirsty. The music, unforgettable music. There's a lot of cutscene because they release great music, a lot of cutscenes, and great gameplay and huge levels, guys. Lara. Okay, to be honest, this game it just released first on Saturn, so Saturn was the first platform where this game was released. The PlayStation version just came a little after the Saturn version, but it just I just discovered this game to the PlayStation version. The first level, the bats, the Lara with the dual guns, pistol, Tomb Raider, just an icon. Okay, we are very close to the end. Turrican 2 for the Amiga. Probably the best Turrican ever released. Even if I repeat, I'm on the fence compared to the Super Turrican. I think I like Super Turrican a little more. But Turrican 2 for Amiga was the game with the incredible soundtrack from Chris Hulsbeck, the great intro. I have to salute my friend Franco Franchi, which made an intro for the Darish zone which mimic the Turrican 2 intro. It's so great. Another great thing with this game, you can use a button on your controller instead of the spacebar. Fantastic, a classic. Okay, we are close to the end, guys. Weight of the Exploding Fist for the Commodore 64. Yes! Okay, not the first game I bought on the Commodore 64, but I have to say a similar assumption compared to the Artron. Was the first game where I was able to play with a friend, a multiplayer local game, a brawler to play with your friend. And there's also karate. There's also the international karate game, but I just prefer this game more. I'm not sure why, but maybe I prefer the gameplay. I prefer even the graphics and the fantastic music by Rob Hubbard. This the digital scream. Okay. This is the disc release, so it have some little loadings before interaction. Okay, you start with and another great thing of this game, if I remember, inspired by the arcade, you just hit just defeat the opponent with just one strike, one punch on one king, and it's done. Okay. Okay, close to the end. The Wipeout Pure is just the game that made me buy a PSP. So I just remember I just bought a PSP for this game. But I show on this video we show instead the Wipeout XL, which is probably the best Wipeout ever released. I love the Wipeout saga, so it was not easy to me include two games on Wipeout. Maybe it's a little redundant, but I love this game both. I have the mic disabled. Ouch. So guys, this is the 25 games that I picked for this collection. I hope you like it and enjoy it. Let me know what you think about and we catch up on the next one. Bye bye.